Hi everybody, I'm Emma Devine and I'm the founder of Rose-Tinted Living, which is my brand new venture that I wanted to tell you more about. So I thought I'd make 7 videos, they're information videos, probably around 10 minutes long each, just telling you more about Rose-Tinted Living, what it is and how it can help you, and how I can help you as well. So just to start by apologising, I have quite a noisy house. I have 2 dogs, 2 cats, 2 kids, a tortoise, so it can be a bit chaotic. So I'm hoping we don't get any interruptions, but if we do, I'll deal with it swiftly and carry on. You can see one of them there, that's Teddy. Um, so yes, so I wanted to start by asking you a question, excuse me. And the question is, are you happy? I know that sounds a little bit Hollywood, doesn't it? But generally, in your life, are you happy? Do you wake up thinking, yes, another day, what amazing things are going to happen today? Do you feel generally content, happy? Do you feel joy? Do you feel passionate, excited about the future? Or at the minute, are you feeling a little bit more anxious, more stressed, more sad? Just have a think about it, because I think sometimes a lot of us do kind of go into the anxiety and the stress without even realise that we're doing it. But it's important to be happy. We all deserve to be happy. So have a think about it. If not, I'm here to help. This is what I want to help you with. I think a lot of people would say no to this question. Not everybody. I think there will be some really genuinely happy people out there. But I think at the minute, a lot of people aren't very happy. That's just the impression I get from speaking to people. And it's not your fault. The world has gone totally bonkers, I think, the last few years. So it's not your fault if you're not feeling happy, but there are things you can do about it. This part of my video might sound a bit depressing, but I want to go into some of the reasons why I think people are a little bit ugh at the minute, so we can talk about how to cheer ourselves up and feel better. I think a lot of it started 2020 with COVID and all the lockdowns. I think that affected us in maybe ways that we just don't really understand yet. I think it had a big impact on us. I think we lost our freedom, didn't we? And freedom is something that's so important to us and our mental health. They say that freedom is the oxygen of the soul. And I think losing our freedom like that very suddenly had a big impact on people. We were told to stay indoors, weren't we? So we couldn't go outside, we couldn't see our loved ones, we couldn't just go shopping, a lot of us couldn't work, a lot of people were totally alone in it. So it was a big thing. And on top of that, we had this terrifying virus out there, which was causing destruction. It was killing people. We were given these numbers every day, weren't we? Thousands of people that were dying every day. And it just felt so terrifying. There's this thing out there that could kill us. It could kill our loved ones. We didn't know anything about it, how we were going to stop it. It was a big thing. It was traumatic, I think. And I think traumatic, everybody in the whole world went through this trauma at the same time. And I don't think we've dealt with it really, or know how to deal with it, because it's never really happened before, has it? So we lost control. We lost control over our lives. When the other thing was, we thought many times that things were getting better. They'd say, yes, it's, we can go out now, and we'd get out and about, start living our lives. So we said, told it's coming back. There's another wave coming, so we had to go back in again. And it was like the stopping and starting, I think, that made us lose our faith and our hope and our trust in life. And maybe a lot of us haven't got that back. COVID gradually started to get better, but then we had the whole Russia-Ukraine situation, which was and still is awful and gave a lot of people a lot of anxiety. And then obviously on top of that, we now have the cost of living crisis, where people are really struggling for money, and it's another tough time to get through. The news is depressing. Sorry, I told you this bit's depressing, but it does get better, I promise. I'm not come on just to depress you today. The news is depressing, it's everywhere. We can't escape the news, can we? It's on social media, it's on the TV, people are talking about it. And social media itself just seems so full of people at the minute that are angry at life, angry at each other, arguing. It's just not a nice place to be. People in real life are a little bit nicer, but you wonder what's going through their heads when you see so many people so angry on social media. I've definitely noticed a big difference in the people that I work with and the people that I know. People have started to lose their trust in life. People have stopped being ambitious and thinking about a brighter future and planning ahead more. They're a bit more sad, they're a bit more anxious, more stressed. I've definitely noticed a difference in people since 2020. You may have heard the term meh, and Poppy takes a mickey out of me out of using this because it's sad apparently. But meh, M-E-H, meh, means a lack of enthusiasm or interest. And I think that's a really good way to kind of sum people up since 2020. People in general, again, not everybody, but people in general are very meh and just feeling not enthusiastic, not excited, and they've just lost their sparkle and their lust for life, I think. And that's what I want to help people to get that back. I think there's a big shift happening at the minute in society in general, and I think in the long run it's a shift towards a better future. But the transition, like any transitions, are quite tough. Over the last few years, we've had the Me Too movement, haven't we? Where women are standing up saying we don't want to be treated like this anymore. Then we had the Black Lives Matter movement, which again was where black people stood up and said we don't want to be treated like this anymore. And we've also had the massive spotlight shone on the rights of LGBTQ people, and we're treating them a lot better now, and we're a lot more accepting, which is amazing because that's how we should be. Everybody's different, and that's absolutely fine. We should treat everybody equally and with respect. So I think this is wonderful. However, like any kind of movement that's happened in society, we get people arguing against it, don't we? We get people saying all lives matter, and then you had all the people saying, you know, the men saying we matter too, which of course they do, and all lives do matter, of course, but these movements have arisen to shine a spotlight, I think, on inequality, and it's a really, really important thing, I think, that's happening, and I think it's a brilliant thing. So I think things are going to get better. I have such hope for the future for us, but I think as individuals, we're just a bit lost at the minute. We've had so much going on. We don't know what's going on. We're all feeling a little bit lost, which is why I wanted to start this new venture, Rose-Tinted Living. I think that happiness is our natural state, and I think it's our birthright. We deserve to feel happy. And my goal is to help people to feel happy. So what is rose-tinted living? I'm going to try not to read off my notes too much, but I do want to make sure I say everything, so excuse me if I look down. But let's start with the dictionary definition of rose-tinted living. It means to experience, to see only the pleasant things about a situation and not notice the things that are unpleasant. That is rose-tinted living in a nutshell. So to see the pleasant things about the situation and just ignore and not see the things that are unpleasant. It's looking for the silver linings in every situation. It's being positive, it's being optimistic, it's looking for good rather than dwelling on the bad, and being grateful for what you have rather than worrying about what you lack. It's living your life on purpose, so deciding what you want from your life and knowing that you have the power to make it happen, because you really do. We have more power than we realise. It's being guided by love, not fear, in all situations. So every situation you're in, every response you give, think to yourself, am I being guided by love here, or am I being guided by fear? Acclaimed psychologist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross argued there are only two primary emotions, and those primary emotions are love and fear. Every other emotion is a derivative of one or the other. So every happy, positive emotion comes from love. Every negative, sad or awful emotion comes from fear. Positive emotions, these are the emotions we're wanting to feel. This is what we're wanting to get from this, such as joy, compassion, excitement, gratitude, awe, confidence, serenity, pride, inspiration, and hope. They're all lovely emotions, and they're all love channeled into more specific feelings. The common factor is that they make us feel good. Negative emotions such as anger, jealousy, boredom, insecurity, sadness, irritability, worry, anxiety, disappointment, and despair are all emotions of fear, again channeled into more specific feelings. They're obviously the emotions we don't want to feel. We don't feel good when we have these emotions. They're warning emotions. They're there for a reason, but they're there to tell us that the situation's not as it should be and we need to do something about it. Positive thinking is a mental attitude where you expect things to turn out the way you want them to turn out, instead of assuming all the time that the worst is going to happen. It's channeling your energy into visualizing the best possible outcome and feeling excited about that, rather than feeling worried all the time about what could go wrong in your life. when you wake up in the morning as a Rosie, I'm just going to start calling anybody who joins my community is going to be called a Rosie, because I think that's quite cute. At the minute there's just me, a little lone Rosie. But I'm hoping there's going to be some more of you soon if you like the sound of this. You look forward to all the wonderful things that are going to happen to you that day, rather than thinking, here we go again, and dragging yourself out of bed. So, I mean, what are you at the minute? Do you think you wake up in the morning, burst out of bed thinking, yes, what's going to happen today? A bit like SpongeBob. I think SpongeBob is like our mascot, rose-tinted living mascot, because he's just amazing. He's always positive, isn't he? He's always excited about things. He sees the good in every situation. So SpongeBob is our new role model. Or every morning you're kind of thinking, oh, here we go again, and feeling stressed and anxious about the day, because that's not how we should be feeling. We should be waking up and looking forward to our days. It's not only focused on the good in life situations, but it's also focused on the good in yourself. I think we all have those voices in our heads telling us that we're not good enough. We're too shy or too loud, we're too fat, we're too skinny, we're too ugly, we're too stupid, we're not clever enough, we're not confident enough. Those voices are always there, and I think we forget they're there and we don't notice them. We're so used to them being there that we don't notice them being there. So a lot of what we're going to be doing is really thinking about those voices and really noticing all the time, being vigilant of those voices creeping in and kicking them out when they do come in, because they're not helpful. They're not there to help us. They're there to hold us back. We don't need them. They're bullies, and we don't have any room for bullies in our rose-tinted world. And finally, it's not just looking at situations through rose-tinted glasses and ourselves through rose-tinted glasses, it's also looking at other people through rose-tinted glasses. It's seeing the best in others, because nobody is perfect. And even if they were, you could turn that into a flaw, couldn't you, saying that person annoys me because they're too perfect. Everybody you know will have good points and bad points. So it's all part of being human, isn't it? Nobody is perfect. So in our relationships with others, it's about focusing on the good in people rather than focusing on the bad. And it makes a huge difference. It really does. Some people that irritate you at the minute, you think, oh, I really don't like spending time with you. If you make a conscious decision to focus on the good things about them and the things they're doing that you like, it completely transforms that relationship. It really is incredible. So a lot of it is just being conscious of things and just doing things on purpose and looking at what you want to look at on purpose. That's not to say that we let people treat us badly, of course. That's not what we're looking for. That's toxic positivity. And in a later video, I'm going to go through what I've called the 3 specs process, which is like glasses, because we're all about rose-tinted living. So that's a process I've thought of that's really, we can go through every time we start to feel a negative emotion, we can go through this process, and it'll help us to decide where we're going to channel our positivity, whether we're in a good situation or a bad situation, whether we need to change that situation or whether we need to see the best in that situation. So I think it's really good, this 3 specs process, because it's going to help you decide where to put your positivity. So I'm going to go through that in a later video. Just to finish, a very brief scenario, just to really highlight rose-tinted living. So you wake up in the morning, one morning, it's a really great, miserable day, it's raining, like we've had a lot of here recently. You're meant to be going to the park with your friends for a summer picnic, but you see the rain and think, no way, I'm not going out in that, it's too miserable, I'm just going to get wet and freezing. So you phone your friends and you cancel, and then you spend the day moping around in your pyjamas, looking out the window, thinking, why do I get all the bad luck? Or you could wake up that morning, look out the window, see the rain and think, oh well, it's raining. Thankfully, we have a lot of rain, because there are a lot of countries that don't get enough rain. And that's why we have such a lush green country, and the plants can get enough water and we can get enough water. It's just the way it is. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't change the rain. So I'm going to go out with my friends anyway, put a raincoat on, put my wellies on, and have a really, really good day. So you do. You meet your friends, you have a picnic, you have a really good time. Yes, you get wet, but you just laugh it off because you're with your friends and it's funny. So you just have a laugh about it. And you get home from your day feeling really happy, really content. You've got endorphins flowing through your body because you've had a really good laugh with your friends at the rain rather than grumbling about it. You curl up with a good book, watch the rain outside and feel all cosy. So they're 2 totally different scenario, the same scenario, but I can't speak now, I've done really well so far. I'll start that again. So it's the same scenario, two totally different responses to that scenario. And obviously the way you respond to that and the way you think about that changes things completely. So this can change your life. This kind of way of thinking can completely change your life. You can gain control over your thoughts. Anybody can. It's just practice. So that's good news, isn't it? Because we can look forward to many more happy days. So thank you. That's video 1. That's just to let you know a little bit about rose-tinted living and what it is. Video 2 is coming up soon, well, next. So you can watch video 2 and that'll give you more of an idea about me and how I think I can help you and why I think I can help you with this. So I hope that's useful. So thank you for listening. Sorry if I was a bit waffly. I do tend to waffle sometimes, but I tried really hard not to. And I'll chat to you in video 2. Bye.